we got one of your favorite sporting events to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yes, we do.
You ready?
Yep, we're ready. So the Kentucky Derby happened over the weekend. For those who don't know, yes, you can see the Louisville Cardinal stuff behind me. That was where I was born and raised. Is where the Kentucky Derby held. Is in Louisville, Kentucky. If you ever have a chance to go to the Derby, do it. It's expensive, but what other big time sporting event isn't?
Make sure to bring your big hat.
Big hats, all the hats, all the pomp and circumstance. It's great. It's one of the biggest. They would call like the biggest party in the U.S. or something. I forget. There's so many type of things that happen there. Mint julep is the drink. I can go on and on about the Kentucky Derby and how awesome it is, and it's all surrounded by a 2-minute horse race. And the Oaks race can't without giving a shout out to Oaks, which goes on Friday, where the fillies run. Now, fillies, for those who don't know, are female horses. Okay, a lot of times people don't know that. Like to fill you in on that. Just a little horse racing 101. Fillies.
They're not from Philadelphia.
No. There's colts and fillies. Okay, these are all 3-year-old horses. Okay, that as far as these two races are concerned, but they always did it for fillies. Has a filly won the Kentucky Derby? Yes. I think the last one was in winning colors. I think it was like 1988 was the last time a filly ran. Now there hasn't been any fillies that's ran the Kentucky Derby since the tragedy of 8 Bells that happened, where this horse finished second. She literally ran her heart out. She as soon as she crossed the finish line, she collapsed and passed away. And so ever since then, and of course I had some family members at the track, and they said you could hear, to no surprise, you could hear after the Derby a pin drop in that whole place, and 150,000 people silent, which rightfully so over that. So obviously there is tragedy, and that's a whole different conversation about horse racing. But this is the time to tip your cap. This was the most watched Kentucky Derby. There was 19 million people that watched the coverage, at least when it flipped over to NBC. For give you perspective on it, a horse race got 19 million viewers. Game 7 of the NBA Finals last year had 16. So now, granted,
if we were one of those viewers, my family were at the Inter Miami game, and my dad is huge into horse racing, and he had it on his phone there for the 2 minutes to watch the race to see if he won, and he did not win, but still.
No. But who did win was 23-1. It's semi-long. It is a long shot, technically. Is it come close to the biggest long shots to win the Derby? No. If you want to go list out to it, the longest shot to ever win was 91-1. It happened in 1913. The horse was named Donerail. Rich Strike was 80-1. It won a couple of years ago. Then you had Mind That Bird and Giacomo, which was 50-1. I believe, and then I forget, there might have been a horse in between there, but at least those, and this was only 23-1. So take that for what you will. But it was still a long shot. The horse came out when it hit the final stretch, which it's 1.25 miles, guys. So it's going to go this way, and then you come to the final stretch. All right. Once it hit that final stretch, it was in 14th place. It passed 13 horses on the final stretch to win by a neck over one of the favorites, Renegade, who's the jockey on Golden Tempo's brother rode. So as they're crossing the finish line, there is a really cool picture. We don't have it. That was taken of the Renegade's jockey, his brother, after he finished. He's holding
each other's hands. Yeah.
Holding each other's hands, of congratulating each other. My family was on the first turn, and they did get a really cool shot of Jose, or I think it's Ortiz. Literally, it looked like he was staring right at him. So it was a really, really cool picture there. But let's not bury the lead. The Golden Tempo's trainer is Sherry DeVoe, and she became the first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. She's not the first female trainer to win a Triple Crown race. That happened a few years ago. I believe that female trainer won the Belmont or the Preakness. There's only 2 other ones, but she's not the first one. But she was the first one to win the Kentucky Derby. And she's not a fluke. I showed Sol like all of her stakes race that she's won. Obviously, it's in Golden Tempo. They train multiple horses, guys. It's not just one horse and that's it. But they did come out, which I figured they were. They did come out and made a statement today. It's not running in the Preakness. That distance, The best horse didn't win. Okay. And I know it sounds stupid. It's like, well, it won, so it's the best horse. There is 17 to 20 horses. There was a horse that didn't want to go in the gate and bucked the jockey off, and they scratched it right before Great White, which was actually a late entry anyway because of the scratches that happened. And scratches are they either the trainers or the veterinarians on staff. They examine the horse and say, nope, not allowed to run. So they scratch it. It's not allowed to run. Doesn't mean they do whatever. It just means that it's not allowed to run. So it's a did not compete basically. And so immediately scratched that horse. So it took a little bit longer for them to get in the gate. But the horse went off great. And we have a little video here of her, and she's right on right by the winner circle, just to give you perspective of where she is. And if you notice, this is how much these trainers know the horses.
Yeah.
When she doesn't say anything, but when she starts screaming, and it'll show an arrow where the horse is, she knows it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So got a little, and it's a really cool side by side here. For those who don't know, she's in red.
I might pee my pants. You can definitely put that on.
They're in the gates.
Okay.
And they're off in the Kentucky Derby.
For those who don't know, he's the one in the red hat. Let me get my cursor over there. That's your Derby winner, number 19. Don't mind that the 4 just went this way. Like, look at the 4. He just pushes everybody over, by the way. And the second place horse is right here. So he had to go through. He had a rough ride.
Had a great start early for So Happy and Wonderland. Toward the inside comes Emerging Market as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Further Ado is getting going on the far outside of Commandment. They're both putting in their runs as they arrive into the final furlong. Oh, Sally is also gaining ground on the far outside as they come to the last 16th of the mile. Denal Bourbon in front. Oh, Sally a huge long shot. Renegade and Golden Tempo. How close is 2. Here's Golden Tempo. Golden Tempo and Serenable make history in the Kentucky Derby over Renegade at a final time of 2:02.27 seconds. Oh my God!
Sorry for those. I forgot to say for those with headphones. Sorry, but no, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And there's another camera shot of her when she leans over and you can see her like she's kicking her feet. It's like she is kicking her feet against the wall. She made little specialty shoes with Golden Tempo and a rose on it and stuff like that. Like their trainers sometimes they know that horse doesn't have it, but the owner runs it. So Kenny McPeak, he is a trainer, and my family went to an event. Kenny McPeak was there, and he goes, "Oh, by the way, don't bet on my horse; it's not going to win." Like the owners want to put, every owner wants to be like, "Oh, I have a Derby horse."
Or an owner owns 2 horses and knows that, like, "Oh, I'm putting this other horse in there to set the tempo because I have a horse that's a come from behind winner, and so let's put this other horse in there to set the tempo, so that way." They play all these things where it's like, oh, this horse is not going to win, but I'm doing it for this reason or that reason.
Yeah. And
all different types of strategies.
A great story. Probably one of the best memorable Kentucky Derbies that I can remember. I remember looking at the program and I was just looking around at my family, and I just kept looking. I was like, this is going to be one of those races where we just look up and go, oh, who won again? Like you have to look through your program to see who the number was. And that was because Asaleli, I forget, I can't pronounce his name, but it was 22, came in third, and it made a quick run, and then obviously Renegade, went off at like 5 or 6 to 1 that finished second. A lot of money is involved in these things, and the Derby and the Preakness, but in between races is either like 2 or 3 weeks, and this is this type of horse where the distance for the Preakness is shorter than the Derby, so to get that horse ready for the type of run that it does and just its health. And this is the second year in a row that that the Derby horse is not going to run. I expect it to run in the Belmont. And I wouldn't be surprised if Renegade does win. I mean, does run in the Preakness and wins that. The Renegade's the better horse. Golden Tempo had it kicked when it needed to kick, it fired when it needed to fire, and had enough horse. I mean, you can't sit there and say it was a fluke. It was not a fluke, but certain things had to happen for that horse to pull off what it did, and that's just the Kentucky Derby. That's why long shots win sometimes. But this horse finished third, second. Like, you have to have enough points to get into the Kentucky Derby to do it. So, shout out Golden Tempo. Awesome. Sherry DeVoe. She's obviously went on a big media, and, they were interviewing her saying like how great it was being the first female. And she's like, I just want to be looked at as a trainer. That being said, I still acknowledge the fact that, to be an inspiration is really cool. Her life has changed forever. I expect Golden Tempo to run in the Belmont. As far as times, it was a 2 minute and 2 minute win. For perspective, the fastest horse to win the Kentucky Derby, it's not a trick question, it is Secretariat. Now, there's only 2 other horses that's finished under 2 minutes. Of the 100, there's been, for those who don't know, this is the 152nd Kentucky Derby. So 52 things of these have been ran every single year, even after even COVID, they still ran it. They had like 4 people, and it ran in like September, but they still ran it. And the other 2 horses were Monarchos, which is Derby winner, and then the other one is Sham. Sham didn't win it; it lost to Secretariat. So that's still a little crazy statistics there. Is the 3 horses that finished under 2, that ran a under 2 minute Derby. 2 were Kentucky Derby winners, and 1 just happened to race against Secretariat. So there's your horse history for you.
Well, thank you, Josh, for letting us know a little bit more about horse racing.
Yeah. So it stinks for the Preakness, but I knew the way her comments were, it wasn't going to run.
Yeah.
So